Here's what I like about this song. I was listening to it this morning. I was blasting the 12-inch, this one right here. I was blasting the extended version of that song. And I was realizing that it's a really unique Phil Collins song. In fact, this song is in my top 5 Phil Collins songs. It, kind of like sometimes would be my first. I would say it's in my top 3, actually. If you're like me, that list is always like moving around. It's whatever song I'm listening to at the time. But as I was listening to this song today, I always think about how this is such a genreless song. And it's what I love about it so much. I mean, is it pop? Well, it's not pop in like the 80s sense or even the pop music of the early 90s. It's not that kind of like emerging, sad, slower stuff that was popular in the early 90s, similar to Another Day in Paradise, but it's super catchy, yet it's not pop. Is it rock? Well, there's a great guitar solo. I think the song is co-written by Daryl, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a screeching distortion guitar solo, but then there's the Motown horns. There's horns all through this song. The opening of the song and the later on in the bridge as well, after the bridge, it feels like the opening of like an ESPN theme song. You know what I mean? Like of a basketball game, or a little bit like the da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum, that kind of thing. I just think there's so much happening in here. There's like hints of jazz. There's hints of R&B and funk and Motown and pop and rock. There's just so much in this song. And then the lyrics and the title of the song are slightly more abstract. It obviously sounds like a relationship gone awry, but it's a little bit more abstract than Phil. Phil is usually a little more on the nose with his lyrics. And so I think that's why I loved it. I could just belt it out, not always knowing exactly what it means. Certainly as a 9-year-old boy, when I first heard this song, I didn't know really what it meant. Can you tell me, is this Reagan? I'm a non-American. Is that Ronald Reagan? What's the story with that being the cover art for the single? I have a warm spot on my pants. I have a warm place in my heart for But Seriously. It's my favorite Phil album. So there's so many songs on this record that just absolutely blow me away. I've always thought of Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. There's I feel like Heat on the Street and Hanging Long Enough, they all kind of share some similarities. They're like upbeat and horn driven and very exciting. So I really love that for this song. And for this album, it just kind of like has this nice little thread where there's a type of song in a way. As I talk about the varying genres of this song and the more abstract lyrics, it makes it surprising that it was a single. And it's surprising that it's been sort of one of his hits. It was played on the Serious Hits album. I believe it was included on the 1998, 1997 hits package, I believe. Maybe not, actually. I think so. Maybe not. So it was released April 16th, 1990. It was co-written by Daryl Stuermer, produced by Hugh Padgham and Phil Collins. It's a long one, almost 5 minutes. April 16th, 1990. And so this album came out in the fall of 89. And so it was the third single of what would be 6 singles. So Another Day in Paradise was first, which would win the Grammy for Song of the Year. I Wish It Would Rain Down. So kind of slower tunes, some more serious songs, which was very different from No Jacket Required. And then we get into Something Happened on the Way to Heaven is the third single. Then Do You Remember? Then That's Just the Way It Is. And then Hanging Long Enough. So, as much as I love this album, there aren't as many obvious singles other than Another Day in Paradise on this album as there would be, say, on No Jacket Required, where it's like, this is, Don't Lose My Number, Studio One More Night, very clear singles. This album was like a great album full of deep cuts. I feel like every song is a deep cut. No one song would be a guaranteed hit song. I mean, even Another Day in Paradise is pretty ominous and sad to be a hit song. So apparently it went to number 4 on the US Billboard Hot 100. So a top 5 single. That's pretty cool. I got to figure out here if it was, okay. So I'm reading, this is how, I don't know. This is the comedian Tony Hancock. Yeah, I guess I'm not wrong to think that looked like Reagan. Is that right? I don't even know. What's the story there? How silly. Yeah, that intro, that all of the horns, the piano, just that builds up to that snare hit. Bump, bump. One of the things I'd love to talk to, I mean, it's Nathan East on this record, but I'd love to talk to Leland about the bass, is that there's these, I think they're eighth notes. Boom, boom, bum, boom, 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 bum, boom, bum, boom, bum, boom. What a great bass line. You think of this as like kind of a mid-tempo song. It's not super upbeat. So for the bass player to choose to do those like boom, boom, bum, boom, bum, boom, 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 bum, boom, boom, boom. Listen for the bass next time you listen to this song. Phil's vocals on this record and on this song are insane. I can't play clips on this YouTube channel, right? It totally hurts the channel and I get dinged and bad things happen. I think what makes You Can Run and You Can Hide so sing-alongable is because there's background vocals. There's like kind of a bit of a female choir behind him. And just that line, You Can Run and You Can Hide, is a very sing-alongable lyric. And so when you have the backing vocals, it sounds like a choir. It makes you feel like you can belt it out and sing along. I feel like that's what makes this song so singable. Same like the syncopation. We had our problems, but I'm on your side. Oh, so fun to sing along. Everything about this song, the turnarounds after the chorus, the please believe in me, boom, boom, boom. Like it's such a good song. And that drum hit again, bump, bump, with the horns too, right? I think we talked to Harry Kim this time last year about that, how the horns often mimic the drums. The muted electric guitar on the bridge. And then we go back to the intro. Coming up tonight on... Anyway, great song. Let me know what you think of this song. Do you like the Serious Hits version, the live version, better? They're both great. I mean, they both love the great fade out. But let me know what you think about this song. Where does it rank for you? For me, it's definitely top 5, top 3 Phil Collins songs. Thanks for watching.